program.
Actually, kwanza hii mambo ya barabara, mbona wasitafute permanent solution to these roads? Like kuna hii barabara ya kutoka kwa Mando kupanda juu. Niliyopita hapo hiyo barabara imelimwa recently. But ukiangalia sasa hii
ni maji. Na another problem is the drainage.
Mbona wasitafute permanent solution?
Permanent solution kwa hiyo barabara ni kutengeneza what is called stone pitching. Kutengeneza drainage ya kano na kuweka stone pitching, which is very expensive. What we do currently is just grading the roads. Unless you get a donor who can help you to unless you wake up kama tamak vile hiyo hospitali yako. But he, and also now you know the challenge we have also there, when people branch to their homes, mtu anatengeneza mahali ana branchia, ana block hiyo maji kupita hapa, maji inakuja katikati ya barabara.
Na watu wa kuchota mchanga.
Mbona
msizuie hao watu wenyewe?
That is another menace in the county, which has, in fact, me, I'm a victim of two very good roads that I can't now say what to do. I opened a virgin road from Kamusim to Kengatu, but because of sand harvesting, that road is now impassable. About a distance of about 50 meters. Huwezi pita. Watu walichota mchanga, sasa maji ilikuja imebomoa upande na upande and it created a gully. It has created a big gully which you have to, if I have to solve, I have to allocate money to put gabions first. Tujenge gabions in a maji mchanga restore pole ndio sasa hiyo barabara pitike. But the rest of the road is just okay. The current one that was launched by the governor recently here, Kochola Road, where there has been no road for many years. And in fact, there was a lot of celebration from the community around there because niliwafungua kwa giza. They really celebrated when the road was open. But what has happened? The same people wameanza kuchota mchanga na barabara imekatika. So now this road going through, you come from the other side, unabaki kwa Mwalimu Edwin hapo. Huwezi kupita upande huu. Ukitokea hapo pia unabaki hapo. Kuna distance of about 100 meters. Barabara imekatika kabisa.
Ni makosa ya community.
Na wanachimba mchanga tu. And we have tried even to talk to Neema and all that. All those people, I don't know whether they have been compromised or what's happened. Nobody seems to be in charge. Because me as a MCA, ni watu ambao wanauza mchanga ni my voters.
Hata mimi siwezi by this zuia.
Mimi nitazuia aje? Na mtu anasema kwani wewe mheshimiwa unanipatianga unanilisha kwa boma yangu? But it is the people of Neema and whatever who are supposed, even the chiefs and assistant chiefs wameshindwa. I went even and reported to the DCC. The ACC came one time and arrested one of the people persons who are doing the harvesting Sunday. Kwenda huko within a short time wamekuwa released.
Anarudi tena tu.
Anarudi na kuendelea.
Wacha turudi kwa mambo ya shule tukimalizia.
Yeah.
What do you think about schools around Malaba Southward?
Yeah, currently, in fact, if you look at it in the whole county, Malaba Southward, I have the highest number of primary schools and even secondary schools in the whole county. I have 23 primary schools and 6 secondary schools. And I have tried my best as a teacher to ensure that I give a lot of attention to all the schools in the world. In terms of performance, I want to proudly say here, because of I've been very close to most of our secondary schools in terms of talking to the students, going for their annual general meetings, and being close and monitoring and ensuring that students are at school. When we were giving bursaries, we were giving first priority to our schools within here, because you'll find that.
But still your bursary nayo sasa wewe una power.
Sasa we don't have bursary. The control of budget, we don't even have power anywhere. The control of budget stopped and said the issue of bursaries is not a mandate of the county. It's a mandate of the national government. Our mandate is ECD, VTCs and all that. So currently we are not giving bursaries as MCAs. We don't. So I became very close to our schools, and I want to report that over 100, I think 120 thereabouts, of our students within the ward are going to university, particularly from our schools. Direct to university. Because Kochola Secondary School registered around 56. Direct to university. Oh. Yeah. Then there's a new school there, Katanyu, registered 42. Onyunyuri registered around 7 or 8. Then Kamolo, across over 100
That's good.
are going straight. And of course, you know, over 90% of those students are within the ward.
And they are needy.
And are needy. So that's why we have currently, even today, I'm supposed to go for a fundraising of a student going to university. As I'm sitting here, around 3 fundraisers of students going to university. Yesterday, I assisted one in the total of that's going to Egerton University, a girl in Kurara. Yesterday, I was in a church where the church members were helping her. Paying for her school fees, so yesterday I also went and supported the girl supposed to report next week. And she's going to do animal science. So you find that I have currently a lot of pressure on ensuring that we support these students, and I've been insisting that we follow up, and I've been following up with the head teachers and the assistant chiefs to ensure that all these students report to university. We do not want a situation where any student remains at home, because that will be a big loss for us.
Yeah.
So I think that's what I'm doing in terms of secondary schools, to ensure that I support them, I attend all the AGMs, I attend all those functions, I talk to the parents, encourage them, and I think we can see some progressiveness going on in terms of performance. Primary schools, likewise, I've also been supporting them in very many activities. But I've also constructed, as we are speaking now, currently, 9 ECD classrooms across the world. The previous regime did not construct even one. But being a teacher, I gave a lot of focus on that. And I've distributed them all across the world in terms of locations. You know, our ward here is a division and a location at the same time. And a ward is a ward and also a division at the same time. It is Kamolo division. The whole Kamolo division is only one ward.
Kamolo division.
This is Kamolo division. The whole division is only one ward. Not like Amagoro division, there's Malaba Central, Malaba North.
No.
But for us, Kamolo division, Malaba South ward.
Period.
With 5 locations. We have Kengatun, Ucholia, Kokare, Kamolo, Onyonyori. And I've distributed across the world 2 ECD schools, 2 ECD per location. In Onyonyori location, I have 2, Kalalaran and Onyonyori Primary. When you come to Kamolo, I again constructed 2, Kulonyi and Gara. You come to Kokare, 2, Sopotoit, Kasogol Kapel. You come to Kengatun, 2, Kokeri and Kengatun. It's only Kochola location that I've constructed one. That is Koteko. A total of 9 ECD classrooms. Complete with the tiles and everything. We are only now thinking of furnishing and doing that. Yeah. But they're complete and with tiles and everything, and I think I want to say I'm happy for that. That's an achievement we have done.
Literally kuna project zako ukikaa chini hivi unaweza kuhesabu.
Yes. You know, in politics people will always say he has done nothing, but me as a teacher, I don't believe I've done nothing. I have done a lot. Because I've given you an example of an ECD class.
9 classes.
The former regime did not construct even one single one. It is the first regime.
That's a plus.
The first regime, Mheshimiwa Philip Emase, that constructed around 3. That is in Opare, Gara, and I think where.
Sasa bado umeshinda wawili wote.
So that is an achievement. In terms of even development, in terms of other programs like construction of bridges, I've done one in Kalalara, Box Calabat. I've done one in Kengatun here. Yeah. Water, I've also drilled water. I've drilled water in Totokakile, a place that had never seen clean water for very many years. I've drilled water in Totokakile. I've drilled water here in Kokare A and B. I've drilled water in Koteko, that is even solarized. People are using the water. And currently, as I was telling you, I'm planning to drill a borehole. It is supposed to come this Thursday. A borehole in Kokrara, a borehole in the Wololo area here, then solarizing the borehole in Akuloi, so that and construct a kiosk so that people can be able to use it. And also pipeline extension of water. I want to extend water, this last mile connectivity from the main source here to Adrukoi, because there's a challenge of drilling water
From the other side.
that side. We have tried to drill water when I was in Adrukoi. We tried to drill water, it did not work. When I even came to power, I brought Kokijis, this group that is dealing with girl child. They drilled water in Adrukoi, no water up to now. Even in Kocholia, I drilled water through Kokijis. the borehole collapsed. There's no water there now.
Yenye kuna this other
Karibu na
side.
hiyo, karibu na kanisa.
Kanisa ya. Oh, hiyo ilikuwa project yako pia?
Through Kokijis, of course not from the county, but through partnership. By the way, I told you, trying to make connection and partnership. But the one that is working that I did again to Kokijis is at Akudiet. There is water at Akudiet, solarized, and
najua watu wajui vitu kama mtu anaona hiyo ni pesa ya iko tu mahali.
So that one also through my influence, there is water there. And I'm doing a pipeline extension kutoa maji. Currently, as we are even speaking, there is water. I convinced some community at Koteko. I connected for them. They are now drawing water from a central place. Piped water, the last mile, ile ya Malakisi.
Malakisi water.
So kuna maji tayari hapo, kuna mahali wanasema Magali Sheet, kuna maji watu wanachota hapo. Kija kwa mzee Mola, kuna maji watu wanachota hapo. I've connected water to all these institutions. There is water at Kocholia Primary School, secondary school.
And that used to be a very big problem.
Though maji kipotea kwa line inakuanga challenge. But as we are speaking now, there is water. Kuna maji paka kwa kanisa. There is water. Hiyo maji tu pia nimeconnect paka kwa hospitali. As we are speaking, the hospital now has no problem of water. They have a borehole. They also have piped water. So you cannot hear any complaints of water now. Those days when they used to put pictures that people are going to a river to fetch water. That one is a forgotten case. I've extended the same pipeline from here. I've connected water to Kasokoli Primary School here. They're getting water. That water has gone up to Kokare St. Paul's, Kokare Primary School, up to Kokare Parish. There is water, and many people have connected the same water along this road. Hata ile connections pale, people have water within Kochola hapo juu yote.
Tukileta karibu inakuwa sasa pia wanapata.
So but the challenge we have with our people is that hata kiona pipeline ndio inapita hapa ya maji kwenda huko, anasema kuja kwa nini mheshimiwa hajanifutia kwa nyumba yangu.
Ikipita kwa barabara kama hii.
So that is but those who understand, they have connected water and they have water.
So how many households will you do?
It is not practical. It's not workable. It's not practical. But I want to thank those who have tapped water from the main source, the main lines that we have put constructed. Like the one I want to go, the pipeline extension that is supposed to be done from Koteko again to Adrukoiti. Because Adrukoiti tumeshindwa kupata borehole. I even went there and started a borehole in Kamosi. 120 meters down, there was not even a single drop of water. The contractor almost ran out of the site. I had to convince him. That's why we went to Koteko and drilled the water there, and that's the water that's now being used. So there are areas here you cannot get water. So unless you just do the pipeline connectivity and whatever. So that's what we are doing in terms of water. We have also done bursary. I don't give it twice when those days when before the control budget stopped us. I remember I was giving almost over 900 students every I gave twice. So I gave to a total of almost 2,000 students bursary. And I was doing my bursary transparently. I laid structures with the chiefs and assistant chiefs and say we distribute these forms according to sub-locations. In sub-locations also distribute them according to villages. Though it will not fit to everybody, but you will feel at least in every village. Hata kama wewe hujapata kuna mtoto kwa jirani hapa.
Household at least ipate.
In every village. Kwa Liguru. Liguru akipewa sababu labda 10 forms. Hata kama watoto ni wengi more than 10, anachagua tu. Next financial year pia wenye walipata this year walipata this time. Wapatie wengine pia. So if we had to continue, if the government had allowed us to continue up to now, at least in every village I would have covered almost everything. But when it was stopped, we said it, we have no power beyond that. So we stopped it. So that in terms of bursary. We have also done agriculture. I've also tried to improve in terms of agriculture. I've given maize seeds 3 times. I gave the first one.
Per household?
No, maize seeds too, not of course enough for everybody. You know now the resources we have, you buy. So but we have been trying to focus on vulnerable groups like widows, elderly, those needy people and all that. We have done that almost 3 times. But the last one I gave, we did not even focus on those needy because I had over 3,000 packets. So we gave just at random. Again, we narrowed down into the villages. Ya kwamba every Liguru iende paka kwa village. Liguru kama umepata kwa mfano say 30 packets or 50 packets Liguru, ndio unagawa moja moja kwa household. Kama uko na household 80, then you have 50 people will get 20, that will miss.
So in relation to what? Coordination yako na national government through MP ni gani?
Yeah, the MP, of course, we partner in some development programs, especially in terms of power. You know, electricity is purely in the hands of the national government and of course the MP.
Watu wanaongeanga huko
and those are
amekuja ameweka hapa madini amepotea, maandikisha majina amepotea.
Yeah,
Kumbe ni huko.
So the national government MPs ndio wanapewa transformers. The challenge we have with the power connectivity in our area here is lack of transformers. You know, without a transformer, okay, there are those areas that have transformers that need to be maximized, but there are those areas that are disadvantaged. Probably the 600, you know, power it only covers, the transformer covers 600 meters square. So beyond 600 meters it can't work. So you'll find there is a place where power has ended 600 meters here, another there's a gap again on the other side. We talk about 600 meters, but there's a gap in between, which needs a transformer. So the only person ambaye atakwamua jambo kama hilo ni kwa urahisi ni mbunge. Like we have a problem in the Angololo area here, which is popularly known as Padre. The challenge, that is the biggest challenge that is there is power. Those people need power more than even water that I'm going to give them. But because I don't have power, that ability to be able to get a transformer there, what I can only do as an MCA, there is this program that is called REREC, Rural Electrification Program. What happens is that if I allocate money, 3 million, which I've done for Padre, but there's a challenge at the county. I allocated from my ward base 3 million for partnership to get power for Padre area. What happens is that the county is supposed to take this money and pay it to REREC. Then REREC gets the matching fund. If I have allocated 3 million, they get another 3 million. It becomes 6 million.
6 million.
Then they come and construct a scheme there. Yeah. That is the only bit I can do. Or influence the maximization. If you put your last mile, kama ile, to identify the areas. Nikimaliza, like I managed to say I want maximization at Gara, at Kiriko, at Sandbeam, and Koteko. Now what has been done only is one, that is Gara. Koteko, Kiriko, they are waiting for they have done mapping and all that, they are waiting for the ponds to start the construction of the ponds. Okay. But the program is taking too long. Initially we had been told the contract had been given 18 months, and that was in 2023. But now this is 2026. Only one project has been realized. When you ask them, they say, oh, this is a partnership between the governor, the county, the national government, and World Bank. So it becomes that there is one part there, they don't want to say which one, that has not played its communication.
They just take you in circles.
They just take you in circles. But the blame comes to the MCA. Nobody will not understand that. Everybody says the MCA will tudanganya stima inakuja iko wapi. Hiyo ni uongo. Now when you bring another challenge, I'm realizing with our people is that, you know, these things are programs are put, they go systematically. Ile umepangia ndio inafanyika hivyo hivyo. So when you do a project towards now that like heading towards the election period, wanaanza kusema ati alikuwa wapi kuleta hii project, anakuja kutufunika. And yet you don't know that these programs are, you know, you cannot do all programs at a go.
I remember hii barabara si Kokonya, was it Kokonya? Alitamak time yana. Was it 1 month or just a few weeks to election?
Ile ya nini?
Soko.
No, that one it's me who followed it up. It had been allocated. It's not even a ward-based program. That was, you know, in the county there are 2 areas. There is what I have told you, the amount we are allocated as a ward for me to propose projects. But there are projects that are allocated by the executive. The executive inasema kwamba Malaba South tunaenda kufanya kitu fulani. It is now that was an executive program.
Okay.
So when I came in, I found that it had stalled and nobody was following it. So I followed it and nikaikwamua and we went to the contractor. By then, fortunately, the contractor was Hasani. Na Hasani nilikuwa najuana naye. Na alikuwa amekataa kufanya hata. Because the project ilikuwa inakuja towards the end of the that term. Unaona? So contractors like ikifika next year wataogopa kufanya project. Wanasema sasa nikifanya na serikali ikibadilika yenye itakuja itanilipa.
Yaani wewe ulikuja kufanya projects yenye si wewe hata.
Hiyo project kama hiyo, I'm telling you the project was the executive project. Ndio. So mimi nikakuja nikafuatilia. Unajua when you get into the system you get certain programs that are there. So nilikuja nikafuatilia, nikapata kuna project imelala mahali fulani haijafanywa. I went and followed it to the department. Nikagundua ya kwamba kuna project takana itengenezwa hapa Kabros. So I through my influence it worked Wasanii accepted it. I went to the department, they accepted it. Wasanii akakuja sasa kwa site.
So who is supposed to do the lighting? Like right now, street lights from
Street lighting already, that's the county, the national government program. In fact, you remember there was a time Pio and I came here and launched street lighting. Your program is street lighting. It was even a launch and even a substation in Malaba, but nothing has been done up to today.
But blames
inakuja giza. Me, what I only do, like what you are seeing, that light is now from the county.
Hii ya soko.
Pia hiyo nayo nilipata, okay, it had been initiated, but wakati ilikaribia, unakumbuka wakati towards campaign, kuna wakati kwa kwenye alikuja akatumia kitu kingine connect kwa Musa hapo, ati wake tu kidogo hivi, and you know that thing consumes about 1,000 shillings per day. So what I did now when I came, I made sure nimefuatilia hiyo kitu paka iweko kwa docket ya executive, kwa yani ilipo hiyo power ilipo ni executive, because nobody can manage to pay that power. You can't subject these people your account hapa ya soko hapa ya kwamba walipe hiyo kitu hawataweza
na wanalipa tax.
So that's the only thing I did on that, to make sure imeingia kwa system. Na sasa mpaka nikaleta watu wa Kenya Power, wakaweka mita, wakaweka nini kila kitu. Now hata juzi ilikuwa na Kenya, the county government is supposed to pay. Hata juzi walikuwa wamekata, Kenya Power walikuja wakakata. The bill had gone to 240,000. So I had again to go to the executive using my own influence kwenda kwa chief officer wa finance bwana. Taa yangu imezima na watu wangu wanakaa nje, hakuna soko. Wataibiwa chakula yao hiyo, sasa nitafanya nini? So he paid it. That's why you see now there is a line.
How do you overcome a lot of these challenges? Like today I've been here, nimeona the number of people. Kwanza nimerealize gate yako iko open.
Definitely. Hiyo gate inakuanga ipata usiku.
So the number of people wanaingia, expenditure. How do you overcome these challenges zote? Ndio siku ikuwe siku.
Those challenges that's why I said since I entered into this politics, we have not, personally I've not been able to do any development or to do any saving, to do anything.
Project yako wewe
hakuna, zero. But I don't regret. I thank God because I'm serving my people. I am sharing with them whatever little I have. I feel for them. I'm able to touch them. I'm able to help them in whatever way I can. And most of the times I go even to my own personal savings. Like if I get something from my rent, from whatever, I have a loan here which I bought because of my pension I got. So whatever little I get from there, I share with them. Nikipataka kama mshahara yangu kidogo pia I share with them. So hivyo tu. So we just live like that. Sasa zingine you even hata unafuliza. People, when somebody approaches you as an MCA unawaambia una pesa, ni kama umetusi mtu.
Anaona huyu
mtu ni mgumu, nilikatwana kuna kitu. No way. But huwezi jua, and lazima, and there's no way you can tell them mimi sasa sina. No, una navigate tu. Kama nataka shilingi 10 nasema iko shilingi moja hapa.
Shika.
Kama naenda kanunginika najua tu shilingi, because kwa siasa kila mtu anavuta kwake. Wewe ni kama mtungi ambaye imewekwa hapa katikati ya pombe. Kila mtu ameweka mlija hapo. Kila mtu anavuta kwake.
Mahali nguvu yako inafika.
Kila mtu anavuta kwake. Lakini mwenye anasikia moto peke yake ni mtungi peke yake. So mimi nikiamka asubuhi, unajua mtu ukipatia 100, nasema 100 peke yake unapata. Ajui wangapi wameomba kwako. That very day. Tangu amka asubuhi mpaka jioni, watu wangapi wamekuomba through kwa simu, umekutana nao, umekutembelea kwa boma, uende kwa rambe, uende wapi? So if you are not connected, if you don't have any additional extra sources, and that's why if you follow most of the MCAs or leaders who had not established earlier na wakaingia kwa siasa, because wakati unaingia muhula wa kwanza huo hutaweza fanya chochote, na bahati mbaya upoteze hiyo nafasi, upoteze hiyo nafasi, they end up very bad because recovery inakuwa shida. You have seen even on newspapers people wengine wakiandika ati nilichukua maloni, nikapeleka watoto mashule, nikalipia watoto nini, when he was hoping to be re-elected. Ikiteleza imeenda hivyo. Paka unakuja unachukuliwa, hata kama ulikuwa na gari unachukuliwa, kama ulikuwa na nini naenda auction. Na nini auction. Me personally did not even buy a car. This guy had bought it before he became an MCA. Yeah. I never bought a car.
But unajua watu wakiona like there was a time ulifanya, I think
the only thing now, what I did, you see, we were told when we were taken for induction after being elected, my brother, we were told that, and you know, as MCAs, we have not been given personal aids and personal security. Hatuna.
Yeah.
The personal security inaishia kwa women rep, kwa senator na MP. Kwetu hapa hakuna. Security ni wewe mwenyewe. So we were told that the first security you should do in your home, secure your home. Make sure you secure your home. So that hata ukiingiliwa na watu kabla hujapigia askari kuja kukuokoa, at least kuwe na kitu ambayo itazuia wewe kidogo, ama ifanye huyo mtu anang'ang'ana kutoa
kitoroka vile unaweza geti ni moja.
So make sure you secure your place. Ingawa mimi sija secure yote, but I only tried huko nyuma because why I concentrated behind there. You know, initially my home here ilikuwa njia tu.
Watu walikuwa wanapita.
Unapita huko straight mpaka huko
kwa barabara.
So usiku ukilala una watu wanapita tu wakiimba. Na wanaokota anything he finds here, utajua nani ameokota usiku.
Hapo unajua hii ni bomba ya MCA. Hata mtu akiingia usiku, you're not supposed to question.
You're not supposed to question. That's why hata currently kuna njia inapita tu hapo. But I prevented huko nyuma because mtu akikupitia huko nyuma, akuambushi huko nyuma, akuue huko nyuma na kuenda, hata watu hawatajua. So we were told make sure you secure your compound. Na ikiwezekana weka gate, hata kama ufungi. At least kwa mfano saa hii governor kuja amenivista hapa. How do you control the crowd? Sasa zingine inafika paka security ya governor yenyewe inachukua charge. Inafunga mlango. Inafunga gate na control watu wenye wanaingia.
Wenye wanaweza tosha ndani, wengine wabaki.
So if you don't have a gate, you have not secured your place. So watu watakuwa wanaingia anywhere. Na hakuna mtu yeyote atafurahia kuingia kwako kwa compound yako as an MCA because your home is porous.
Kwanza bado utaendelea vibaya.
Watasema MCA gani huyu ataka gate peke yake ana kwanza. The same people who criticize that tumefanya kwa hii kitu, if you don't do it, they turn the other round. I say huyu jamaa tulimpatia miaka 5 hata gate peke yake.